You know, I had an idea like that once, a long time ago.
Really? What was it, Tom?
It was a jump to conclusions mat. You see, it would be this mat that you would put on the floor and would have different conclusions written on it that you could jump to.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, Tom.
Mom, I really like this.
Cute.
What's it made of? Wool. Like from a cow?
Uh-huh.
Duh, Ashley. All wool comes from a cow. Catch me outside. How about that?
Can I come into the out now?
Laugh it up, fuzzball. Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh, Dad, you sounded like Dirty Harry just then.
Ugh, idiot.
What would you say you do here?
Wow, the insecurity level with you guys is ridiculous. And every time something would go wrong, I would look at the camera and say, hey, what happened?
Yeah, I believe you have my stapler.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the intersection of faith, family, and filmmaking. You're listening to Fearless with Mark and Amber. Here you'll find hope, truth, and practical encouragement to stand strong in your faith and lead your family with courage in today's culture. I'm Amber Archer, and joining me is my husband, author, director, speaker, Mark Archer.
I am the great cornholio.
You can learn more about us and the movies we're making by visiting fearlessfeatures.org. It's also a great place to make that one-time or monthly donation if you are passionate about reaching the lost for Christ through media. Visit fearlessfeatures.org to share your support today.
Step aside, please. We have white privilege.
You like that. It's another fun button.
Are you threatening me?
Yes.
Okay,
love my buttons. I've missed my buttons.
I know we were gone for a week,
Uh-huh.
which we're going to recap everybody on,
Mhm.
which was fun. And I'm kind of glad that he wasn't allowed to have his buttons while we were up there
I am dangerous.
speaking. Although it would have been greatly entertaining.
It would have. I think all the ladies would have appreciated
I don't like you because you're dangerous.
all of my buttons.
I'm sure they would have. However,
I used to have, when I was doing my very first movie, someone had bought me a Beavis and Butthead read-along storybook, and it had a remote control.
what?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even know about these.
It had a remote control. I mean, it was a joke, right?
Yeah.
And so, like with the little kid books where you read the fairy book and
yeah.
they have to press the appropriate button that matches the picture. So it was a remote because all they
so you
did.
get this honest. Like, this is a long time.
Oh yeah. and it had all these sound effects. And so when I was doing my first movie, I actually carried the remote in my ditty bag, which is like your tool bag.
Yeah.
And I would get on the radio from time to time, and
I am the great cornholio.
Uh-huh. And everybody would know
they would
it was
know.
Archer.
And then the sound guys stole it, and they were periodically interrupting because they thought it was great fun. So, little side story there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I hope everyone enjoyed our interview last week with Pastor. Is it C or say?
Sia.
Sia.
Steve. Sia.
And that's such a entertaining story, but pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway, but while you were listening to that, we were at the Ark Encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them about it.
For the women's conference, we'd been talking to you guys about Anchored. We've been talking about this for a year, just leading up to the event. So much in our lives changed over the year, knowing that we were prepping for this event. And it was so God-honoring. I don't even know how to put into words, just glorifying the Lord. The entire event from start to finish, it was 2 conferences back to back, and just nothing to do with us, but everything to do with where we were at, the people in attendance, all of the other speakers. It was just, from the worship music to the speakers, to the audience, the meet and greets after. I mean, everything was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So if you were there and we met you, then thank you. We miss you already.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. I mean, we had never done, so when we do screenings, we get to meet people, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not thousands of people. It's 100, 150, people at a time. and we're not speaking. They've watched the film.
Right.
We'll do like a Q&A, but it's related to the things in the film. So this was a different dynamic, and we're there with the people we were there with was just amazing. And we're going to bring you some of them over the next few months now that we've got new peeps. so we're going to bring our new friends onto the show. But yeah, and it was funny too, because it was 2 back-to-back, then just when we kind of got to know some of you, then you all left.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole new group of people that
Yeah.
came in. And so, we started over again. And getting to interact with, can I tell them the story about the book?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And I don't know what I did with it. It's in my binder somewhere. So I have this book. It's a workbook. It's a pre-Answers in Genesis Ken Ham study guide from when I was in high school. So I was 18 years old when I had this. And I went to a private Christian school, and so for Bible class, every Friday afternoon for Bible class, we would do the Ken Ham Genesis series. And so, it was VHS tapes. I don't know how many parts the lessons were, 8 or 10 different lessons. So you'd watch the tape with Ken and the other guy talking, and then we would go through the workbook. And we actually got graded on our answers for the workbook. And for whatever reason, this workbook has been precious to me, and I have saved it all of these years. And from time to time, I would see it and look through it, and then I would put it back. And I made the comment, I realized...
I say, you got to tell them where you kept this workbook.
I kept this. It was so dear to me for some reason that I kept it with my comic books.
Collector's item.
It was a collector's item for me. I kept it with my G.I. Joe comic books. And so it was safe all of these years.
Yeah.
And
Pristine condition.
Pristine, absolutely mint. And so the second conference, we finally got a chance to go and sit down with Ken for a few minutes in his office. And I took the book up and showed it to him, and he was surprised because he had not seen that book in a long time. Because he said, and he told us a little bit of a story about how they recorded the videos and put that whole thing together in 1988. So I graduated in 1992, and I think he started Answers in Genesis in 1994.
There's actually a timeline here in the... Anyway, go ahead.
So I got him to autograph my book.
Yeah.
And then he asked if they could copy it for the archives.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I let him do that. Well, then I asked the tech team to take a picture of the front and the back cover. And the second session, I didn't do this the first session, but the second session, I showed everybody a screenshot of this book and told them the story about how long I'd had it. And I wanted to honor Ken for just the legacy that he's left and how important this was. That all these years later, here we are up on stage at Answers.
Well, not only that, but our children. I mean, we go through. It was fun because, of course, we obviously took the girls, and this isn't just like our kids tagging along. Our kids actively are hands-on learning. Like this was their homeschool week. They still were learning all kinds of lessons, running the resource table. And so there's a lot of fun stories that came out of that too, but just the importance of looking at how one person, the legacy and generational impact you can have on many, because we sit as a family, the girls and I, when we're doing homeschool, we sit and go through, there's a family commentary that we've been going through. So Katie, our 7-year-old, as soon as she saw Ken, she's just like awestruck. She's like, I've been reading your book. She's got this drive to read now that she has learned to read. And I just love that she has that passion now. But to see an author who she's been studying and, that we've been going through, just how that impacts them as well.
Yeah. So that was fun,
Mhm.
and just to get to make those connections. And this is what add to this. Those of you that maybe were there for that second session, I got home and I had a conversation just a few days ago with a friend of mine from high school who was there in that class with me, and I told him the story, and he said, "Oh, I still have the book." He said, "I actually have the tapes."
Yeah.
I went and bought them. He has the VHS tape series, and so I said, "Well, they'd probably like to digitize those in."
Yeah.
It answers to have them. So, well, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was fun to talk about legacy.
Mhm.
It was very cool.
Yeah, so I think one of the things during the panel discussion, so we were with, let's see, there was Dr. Georgia Purdom, Heidi St. John, Megan Basham, Rosaria Butterfield, Christopher Yuan, Monica Klein, Avery Foley, Patricia Engel. I don't think I forgot about it, and us. And I think during the first panel discussion, we all had, various things that we were answering. And I thought it was so cool for Georgia because she was leading that second panel discussion during the weekend event. And she kind of transitioned and she said, actually, what I really want is for you guys to tell people, what's the one takeaway you
Mhm.
really want people to leave with?
Mhm.
And do you remember what yours was?
Yes, I do. I have it marked here. So the one that I had, and I'll add in here because this is my Bible that I take with me everywhere, and I have, if you ever see my pink bookmarks, these are actually the birth cards of all of my daughters. It says, "I'm a girl, baby Archer, 8/29/12." This is Hannah,
Yeah.
our middle, because I'm a girl dad. Yeah, I have John 3:19, and what I said was, everyone knows John 3:16. So but if you read on, so this is Jesus talking to Nicodemus, and because you remember Nicodemus came to him at night.
At night.
And most people believe that Nicodemus did become a believer in this after this conversation. But anyway, let me start at 16. So it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." This is Jesus talking to Nicodemus. "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already because he has not believed in the name of God's one and only Son." And verse 19. "This is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but men loved darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that his deeds will be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth comes into the light so that it may be seen plainly that what he has done has been done through God." And for whatever reason, months ago, that stuck out to me and I highlighted it. And so as soon as she said one thing I want that you want people to take away, that was what came to mind, because if there's one thing to remember every day, living not for the world, but spiritually minded, eternally minded, is just what he says there. Light has come into the world. However, men loved the darkness because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light. You can't deny that's what we're seeing every day. He hates the light and will not come into the light. Why? For fear that his deeds will be exposed. And the things that we're researching and editing in right now on principalities, this really stuck out to me. They hate the light. And if you stand for the light, they hate you.
Of course.
And
Jesus said they hated me first.
Yeah. And so without being too doom and gloom about it, but here I can be a little more doom and gloom. You have to realize things aren't going to just get better again.
Mm-mm.
They're going to continue to get worse. If we read the scriptures, Jesus told us they would continue to get worse. And we have a reprieve right now, but they're going to come back.
Well, and I think it's also a great reminder because when Georgia asked the question, and she started with me because that I was sitting directly next to her, but the one key takeaway that I really wanted people to understand is discipline, and that was sort of just the key word, and it really resonated, and everyone spoke to it around the panel discussion. Everybody kept coming back to the same thing. You have to be in the word and grounded for yourself. We cannot take sound bites from social media and sound bites from other pastors. You need to be studying the scriptures yourself so that you know for yourself what the word of God says. Otherwise, you're defenseless. There's no way to defend yourself.
That was a universal theme. Everyone going around, and it's not something that we coordinated.
No.
Everyone said the same thing. You must be in the Word. You must be in the Word. You have to be studying. And so I would just encourage you, start by starting. You live in, even if you don't have a physical Bible, you've got a phone. Everybody's got a phone. You can download one for free.
But I would highly recommend getting a physical Bible.
Get a physical copy. There are plenty of places that will gladly give you one.
Yeah, there are many churches who you can go to, and they will give you a Bible.
Yeah, and read it for yourself, and don't start with a commentary about the Bible. You must start with the Word, and you sit down and just ask the Lord to teach you, and start at the beginning, and the Holy Spirit will teach you and will open your eyes as you go.
You know what's so crazy about what you just said is I immediately thought of being 25, an unbeliever. Well, actually, let's see, I would have been 22. Sitting in the apartment that I was staying at with my friends in Indianapolis, and I remember having this small Bible. I have no idea where this thing came from. I was so far from the Lord, drug addict, alcoholic, stripper, whatever. But here I am sitting in this room reading, starting at Genesis, reading it over and over and over and over again, trying to understand. And really, I look back at that, especially now as you were just talking about that, and I think I so desperately wanted to understand. And the thing is, there's a lot of us who go to church and are in the exact same position as many unbelievers where we don't understand. And really surrounding yourself with people who you can learn from is one of the greatest things you will ever do. And I just by way of, I know once I finally came home and I started going to church on my own and surrounding myself with those godly influences, your life begins to change. But, getting yourself out of those situations and the desire to learn and the discipline to actually be in the Word yourself is when things will change.
Yeah, and it's a good point too. Getting away from, if you don't say that you want to change your life if you're not willing to change your life.
Listen, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose family members, you're going to lose, but God is greater.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that I learned from the week that we were there was being there with so many powerful speakers who really, I think, became friends because, and this was the amazing thing when we all first got there. Of course, we're the newbies. A lot of them have been there before, so they knew each other. We don't know any of them.
Well, that's not true.
Well, we knew Heidi, and we knew Monica. But I remember when Heidi got there, and there were several of us that were in the green room, and kind of polite introductions and that. And then Heidi comes in, and everybody knows Heidi.
Yeah.
And it became like a class reunion.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't even know any of you, but I feel like we've all been friends
Yeah.
for a long time. And by the end of the week, the way these conferences go, I mean, some of us are there the whole time and some come in for just a few days, and they speak and then they have to go. And so, we don't get to necessarily hear what everybody else is saying because we're running around doing other stuff and being, ushered to different interviews and meet and greets and things like that. And, but that bond was very strong very quickly. But what I took away from it was just having an eternal perspective, and being there with other like-minded warriors, people that have had, we think we've had, threats and intimidations.
Oh, the stories we heard. Whoa.
People like Heidi.
Rosaria
has had, Christopher. It's been, so we were really humbled by that and thought, wow, we actually have it pretty easy. I'm sure that they'll come. But and just seeing the courage and just the
courage is contagious.
Yeah, the strength that they all have. I think of Rosaria. I said right from the start, she reminds me of Judith Reisman. Just
she's in the Mind Polluters, by the way.
She just does not budge, and she's so blunt. She says, "You are just awesome. I love you, Rosaria."
Yeah.
So, so when that comes out, I think they said it's about 3 months before it'll be on Answers TV. We'll let you know when we know.
Yeah.
But we were strengthened by those we were with backstage, but especially by all of those that were there, because we work in our little isolation chamber doing what we do, and it gets you forget that there's people that actually care.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was really the thing, to be there, and it was all about biblical identity, and that was the thing. Everyone there was gathered to learn, and all of us who were there sharing were all talking about the same things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was an attentive audience, because a lot of times you look at these things, because we're constantly talking about the transgenderism, the comprehensive sex ed, everything that we've done through our films, and people around you, if you don't see it in your community, it's easy to dismiss.
Yeah.
You forget that there are millions of people in America who are being impacted by these things. Their families are being torn apart. It's heartbreaking and gut-wrenching to listen to the stories afterwards. I mean, I think we stood at our meet and greet for upwards of an hour and a half meeting people, even after the hour-long presentation. And if I hugged everybody. I just love people, and to be able to be with them, and you just understand, that there are a lot of hurting people out there, and it was a great joy and our pleasure to pray with women for their families, for their children, for their spouses. I mean, it stays with you, and it is a joy to link arms and pray over just the communities that are being impacted by those who are going to go out and share truth.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess just to sum it up, I mean, we felt really encouraged and renewed and refreshed, and it was fun for us.
And we get to do it again.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Worldview Matters conference, if you don't have your tickets, it's too late.
Now it's sold out.
It's sold out. So the next one that we're a part of, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But if you've got your tickets to the Worldview Matters conference in Green Bay, we will be there May 1st and 2nd.
Yes. And there's a couple of pending upcoming women's events again that I've been asked to go and keynote. So we will let you know when those things across the country. It's really exciting. We are grateful for people who are willing to share, and wow, I'm just excited what God is doing.
Yeah. And I should add, Chris, I don't think we have them on the store yet, but we have hard copies now of all the movies.
Yes, that's coming soon.
So Inwood Drive, The Mind Polluters, Dysphoria, and Title IX, we have DVDs.
Yes.
And some people go, DVDs, nobody watches those anymore. Well, actually, a lot of people do. There's a lot of people that are very aware. And the
hard copies are a thing.
Hard copies, you can't beat them. And so, because those Dysphoria and Title IX shut down everywhere. We have not been able to place them anywhere yet. We're still working.
Well, I will say before we go that we are going to have Dr. Georgia Purdom on next week to recap. And it'll be a lot of fun to have Georgia on just to tell us about the women's conference, because this is, I don't know, they say that it's like their 13th or 14th year they've been doing this?
Yeah, because it started off at the Creation Museum. This year is the 10-year anniversary of the Ark.
It's just so incredibly amazing to see what the Lord is doing. I'm telling you guys, it was phenomenal. And they have tickets are on sale right now. You can still get a discounted price, early bird, for Steadfast, Unwavering Faith, for Fearful Times, and I mean,
next year.
We're not speaking at that event, but I will tell you, when we went out for the second conference, because we were on the last day, and I asked how many people already had their tickets for next year. I mean, it's quickly becoming a go-to women's conference, and for good reason. That's why I would say for good reason. If I had to pick any, we were so blessed to be a part of it and to witness it ourselves. So get your tickets for Steadfast while they're available, because, the weekend conference sold out. And I told Georgia, your weekday conference, sister, is going to be selling out.
Well, and the energy there is just amazing.
That's what it is.
You'll be encouraged.
The camaraderie, the stories that and people who just link arms and keep those relationships years after, many, many years after you first attend. It's incredible.
Plus the food. I'm just going to say, Mzara's is worth going. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today, friends. Thanks for listening through to the end, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and share this with your family and friends. Until next time, march on, saints, and be filled with the Spirit.
Ashley. Catch me outside. How about that?
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Today is best day ever.